Hi, today we're going to be talking about weathering, erosion, and deposition. Our essential questions that we're going to be looking at is what is weathering, how are mechanical and chemical weathering similar and different, and how do weathering, erosion, and deposition affect the landscape? Let's start out by talking about weathering. Chemical and physical breakdown of rocks into sediments. Basically, it's the breaking down of rocks. So there's two major types, mechanical, which is also known as physical, and there's chemical. The mechanical weathering is the process that breaks rocks apart without changing their chemical composition. So glaciers and ice do that. Here's the first example in number A1, this picture here. You can see a glacier coming down. So abrasion is like sandpaper. By rapidly moving water, glaciers, or wind, it can kind of work as sandpaper and grind away, weathering that rock. Another example is ice wedging. Basically, if there is a small crack, like in this A2 picture right here, you can see water is entering in. As water freezes, it expands and it pushes out, creating a bigger space. And then more water can melt, more water can get in, and it goes in and out. That's exactly why we have potholes. Some more examples of mechanical weathering. Weathering causes the rocks to break would be plant roots, burrowing, temperature change, and gravity. So here we have our plant root, and you can see it's growing right into that rock. And as it grows in there, it can crack and break apart that rock. Also, animals are digging into the side of things, and you can think of like they're kind of using their claws and doing that, and they dig into the terrain, making the rock weaker as it's going. Another thing is temperature change. We know that as something gets hot, except for water, it expands, and then as it cools, it contracts. And so rocks do that, minerals do that. They expand and contract and expand and contract. And all that movement does create cracks and weathering. Another thing is gravity. Falling rocks and debris, compression, that's going to make things break into pieces. So here's some really cool features that are created by wind. This is caused by the abrasion of wind blown on sand. You can see the arches, the sand dunes, the mushroom rock here. Some really cool features. Now, here's some features created by gravity. Gravity shapes the Earth's surface by moving weathered material from a higher place to a lower one. So there's landslides. Those happen really quickly. You can see this one came and wiped out part of a city. There's mud flows, and this is called slump and creek. So this slowly is slumping into the side and creeping over, and that's going to cause that to weather away and erode. Now we're just going to very briefly watch this time lapse of Drew Point, Alaska. So if I can get it to go. Oh, here we go. And you'll see that the water is coming up. Water is the most important agent of weathering and erosion. And as it comes up, you can see that those big kind of sand boulder things here are getting eroded away.